That's me, Curtis Hines. I would love to tell y'all that I've been the best husband and best father in the world. Nah, not at all. I failed many times for many years, but I wanted to do better, not only for myself, but for my wife and kids, and the people that love me. I want to share with you all on how I became a better man, a better husband, and a better father. Welcome back to Commit to Your Commitments. I'm Curtis Hines. Thank you for joining me. Hey, if this is your first time, this is for my fellas. Each and every week, man, I just try to inspire, motivate my guys to be better men, better husbands, better fathers. That's what I'm here for. So, hey, if this is your first time joining me, go check out all the rest of the videos. Like, hey, this episode 14, so you got like 13 more things you need to listen to and like really like be inspired by. I got that for you. So moving along, for those that have been joining me each and every week, I want to talk about how routine isn't boring. Think about that for a second. Let's think about it. Routine, doing the same old same every day. And I remember talking to y'all about that last week, how if you're doing the same thing over and over and you're failing, that could be boring. Yeah, it could be. But if you're doing a certain routine every day over and over and getting positive results, that's the flip side we want to talk about today. Routine isn't boring. What it is basically consistent progress. That's what it is. Doing the same thing over and over that's helping you. That's like giving an inch a day. Like giving an inch a day basically is like, hey, let me get up and work out. If you're not a big gym rat and you don't need, like, hey, it's okay. But if you get up every day, and let's just say if you walk like 5 minutes, if you get up every day and walk at least 5 minutes, that's going to make a huge difference in your life. Because what happened is, what I've learned and what I've seen over the years, if you get up to walk 5 minutes a day, you're going to start feeling like 5 minutes isn't enough. You're going to want to walk 10 minutes. And then you're going to be like, 10 minutes not enough. You know what? Let me go for 30 minutes. That's how that works. So routine isn't boring, because once you get a certain routine down, that's a positive routine, something that's going to help you. You're given an inch a day to be better tomorrow, to be better next week. An inch a day is like giving yourself a mile full of benefits. Like you're giving yourself miles of benefits, because every day that you're doing something that's positive, something that's going to help you, you're going to benefit from it later on in life, because you're going to get better at it. Think about that. Like, really, let's think about that. I can see how flipping burgers every day for $7 an hour or something like that can get boring, because it's a job. And don't get me wrong, I'm not clowning or trying to bash anybody for whatever they do for a living. That's not what I'm here for. If you do whatever it takes, get it how you can get it. That's positive. Working a job is positive. Don't get me wrong, but here it on the flip side, I can see how that can get boring. But if they were paying you $100 an hour to flip them same burgers, you'll never get bored. Oh, it'd be some different flipping. I'm just saying, like, what the benefits that you can have by doing certain routines over and over, it's helpful. Like doing something that you feel like, hey man, I can be doing something else. Like, this all right, and it is what it is. But what are the true benefits of that? Doing something like doing certain things every day over and over. Like, certain things can be boring. Some things can get to a point to where, like, I feel like I should be doing something else. And if you're feeling like that, doing the same thing over and over, then yes, you should be doing something else. If you really feel in your heart. But like I said, I feel like positive routines, things that truly that's going to help your health. Definitely anything that you're doing that's helping your health becomes a routine. Oh, that's awesome. Anything that's going to help your mental health, anything that you're doing to like that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, that that's stress free, and you get to do that. If you get to do something every day that causes you no stress and gives you a peace of mind and brings you joy, yes, I don't see how that can be bored. I want to do that as much as possible. It's protecting my peace. My mental health is going to be awesome. My health is going to be awesome. Anything that that really elevates your spiritual health, like your spiritual health. Like if you're doing that and that's helping you spiritually, like, hey, I'm a spiritual man. I believe in God. Like, yes, I do that. So anything that I can do that's going to help me and draw me closer, like on a spiritual level, I'm all about that. That can never be bored. Like I said, I can never be bored on working out, whatever works for me. I don't have to be in the gym 3 hours a day to get me the results I need. Like me, I'm cool. Like I don't need to be in the gym 3 hours, but for some people, hey, that works for them. But as long as you're doing something that's helping you in the long run, it becomes a routine, like that's so worth it. It just, because I can't afford to be bored. So that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm doing something, I can't afford, if something that I'm doing is helping me, I can't get bored. I can't afford to be bored with it. It's like investing. I'm not going to get bored with investing my money. That's going to help me later on. Like that's encouraging my financial freedom. Like the more I invest, like the better off I'm going to be in a situation to have financial freedom and not worry about, debt or my bills. Like, I don't know how that can be boring. I can't afford to be bored. I tell my kids that all the time. Like, hey, you're young enough to where you don't have bills. You don't have a lot of things to worry about. I know kids going to be kids, but hey, you sitting around talking about you bored? Like, nah. The only reason why you bored because you keep doing the same negative or not even negative, but you keep doing boring things, just sitting around doing nothing. Yeah, that can be very boring, of course. So how can you afford to be bored when you do nothing? You need to find something to do that's going to spark your creativity, something that you can benefit from later on in life. Like I said, with your health, with your mental health, with your spiritual health. Like, hey, I could never be bored with those things. That's the reward. I know like I said, if I start working out for 5 minutes a day, I know eventually I get up to a certain limit of time that I'm like, hey, if I do this for 30 minutes every day or 3 times a week, I'm good. I mean, I'm helping myself to live a longer, healthier life. My mental health. If I'm doing this, reading, meditating, stuff like that, I'm reading, I'm educating myself. Like, hey, I can't get bored with it because I know that's educating me. I'm gaining knowledge and everything that I'm gonna be able to benefit from later on in life. How can you get bored with it? So the only time routine becomes boring is when you're doing the same old same, getting the same old results, and you don't want to do anything about it. You complaining, you coming up with all the excuses, why you can't do this, why you can't do that, when all the whole time you just need to change your routine up. You need to change your behavior, change your actions, and that way, hey man, you have consistent progress towards positive things and areas that you need the most focus on. So like, hey, think about that, man. Think about the kind of things that you're doing each and every day. Think about your routines. Think about your rituals. Like, hey, getting up early in the morning, working out, reading, meditating, praying. Like, that's what I do every morning. All the benefits are priceless. When I do that each and every day, man, I'm not going to have perfect days. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to have a perfect day, but I can tell you I'm better prepared for my days. So when different attacks and different things come at me, negative energy, like all that stuff, man, I'm better prepared. Especially when I meditated, I prayed, I read, like I did some things to kind of get my mind like kind of, up and ready or whatever. Like I'm ready, I'm prepared. And that's what you're doing. You preparing yourself for later on when you have positive routines, when you have certain routines, hey, that's going to make things better for you later on. And that's what we need to think about, man. We need to think about that each and every day. What are you doing each and every day? What kind of routines, what kind of rituals you are having each and every day that are preparing for you to thank yourself later? I'm doing things now. I'm doing things every day. I'm working on certain routines that the future Curtis is going to thank this guy right now. And that's what we need to do, fellas. Like, do the things that the future you want to be like, hey, I'm glad you kept doing that. Thank you. Thank you for like focusing and staying true to that. Thank you. Thank you for keep rolling, man. You didn't give up. It didn't become boring to you. You weren't bored when you was doing it because, hey, I'm benefiting now. Like, hey, we got that. So I hope this helps, man. Like I said, fellas, let's get serious. Let's get focused. Think about that, man. Change your routine up, man. If you feel like you bored, then, hey, switch it up, man. You know, approach it differently. Like I've said before, man, and focus on the things that's going to give you those positive results later on in life, man. Because like I said, the you that you are now, whatever you do now, the future you gonna either be, man, I'm so glad you stay focused and stay true, or you're going to be mad at yourself later on. So do what you need to do now so you can be happy later on. So don't allow certain routines that's going to bring you positive results ever get bored to you, man. I can't afford to be bored. Not at all. So thank you so much, man, for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hey, if you like what you're hearing and seeing, hit that subscribe button right now, please. And hey, I'm on all social media platforms at the Curtis J. Hines. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. I hope this helps, man. I love y'all, respect y'all. Fellas, come back next week because we're going to talk about similar to this, you reap what you sow. So I want to get a little deep with that, man. Let's talk about you reap what you sow. See you next week.